right. We are on the couch.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hello, beautiful people and fellow winers, and welcome to another episode of A Little Something to Wine About.
Oh, it's a jingle.
With your... I'm going to jazz this up for years. It's your host, Siobhan Camille.
And Tay Michelle.
And as you can see, we are joined on the couches by the OGs, triple OGs, Le Boyfriend, and the husband. So grab your glass of red, white, rosé, and join us on the couch. We are doing our wine out. It's fourth. Well, not fourth. It's the last Saturday. You do this
Every time.
All right.
Every time.
It's last Saturday. We are live on Instagram and YouTube. Hey to the people watching us right now. Thank you for tuning in. If you are listening to this, you missed it. You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. So make sure that you schedule to sit with us at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every last Saturday and wine with us.
Yes, guys. Come wine, complain, moan, groan, agree, disagree, high fivers, amenas, hearters, whatever it is. Whenever we go live, be sure to keep up with all our content, guys. Yeah, we had a lot going on. We got the lives, we have the vlogs, we have the weekly series that we're doing. Like we're doing this thing, and we've been doing it for a year. So I am extremely proud of us. We have accomplished a lot. We have definitely learned a lot.
Yes.
So while we feature Romano Wine and Vineyard during this wine out, we're gonna sit on the opposite side of what we know of hosting. Our normal. So we're going to let Le Boyfriend and the husband interview us.
We don't know the questions. It's still a true wine out. We don't know the questions.
I'm still a little bit scared because I know who's asking these questions. So as you know, we do this one wine, one question. We have our famous dump bucket. We got our little I don't want to call it a charcuterie board.
It's like a little platter.
We got a platter.
We're
gonna upgrade.
We will eventually.
But we got a platter. And so yeah. And we got some announcements to make.
We've got announcements. We're gonna celebrate our top 5 countries. I think it's 4. And it's just because the 5th was such a tie that I'm not gonna shout out 4. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
We're gonna do our top listeners in our top countries and cities at the end, and we are going to toast to
a year of success, because
yes,
this is a success.
It's been a thing.
It's succeeding. We're being consistent. We are a success. We are speaking this, okay?
We are. And thank you to everybody here. So without further ado, fellas, who wants to go first with the question? Whoever picks the question, the other person picks the wine. So whoever question,
we'll kick them off.
Oh, so what wine are we drinking?
All right, so we are doing Romano's Bald Eagle White.
Oh,
okay.
It seems like it's a dry white wine, so that's what we're gonna start with. All right, Romano.
Yes. Okay. And our first.
Are you pouring for everybody?
Yes.
Everybody.
All right.
Question number 1. Let's get to it.
Oh boy.
What was the easiest and hardest part in launching this podcast?
I think I think we're gonna have different answers for this one.
Okay.
So for me, the easiest part was organizing. I'm a very organized person, so like I'm type A, and they say this about me and my job all the time. I am type A. I will take chaos and make it clear. That was the easiest part, was to organize the chaos. The hardest part, and I say this with no shame, was trusting that my sister was going to come through. Do you understand? Especially in the beginning, man. Because I was like, yo, I gave her weekly homework, and I was just like, yo, she don't come to the table with this homework. It was week, like we established our weekly Monday meetings. And I was like, okay, all right, you sure you want to do this? Cool. So if you listened, you know how we got here. We said this, why we started. But the meetings on Monday, the first one we had, I said, listen, so next Monday, I need you to do this research about launching a podcast. She said, okay, I got you, sis. I'm not gonna lie. I was literally like, I don't know if I trust that she really got me or not, if she really gonna do this or not. So the hardest part for me, and still to this day, I think, to an extent, is, and I'm also a very, like, I just don't trust people. Like, I'm the type of person, just give it all to me. Like, I would be a terrible manager, probably. I won't think I would be a micromanager, but I would be one of those people, like, give it all to me so I can make sure it's done. Okay? So it's trusting your partner. Which I guess that's most relationships, right? Any type of relationship, business, personal, professional, is trusting the other person. That's been the hardest part. The easiest part was getting organized.
Okay.
Before you answer, can we announce what wine we picked?
We
did.
So the people know.
Bald Eagle White.
Bald Eagle White.
By Romano.
For me, the easiest part was just coming up with the idea. Like, and because of the way my brain works, it was, I could come up with ideas. I have them in my sleep. So coming up with the idea, that was the easy part for me. And it was like, okay, well, and it was like, well, what are we gonna do with all these wines? You know, if we doing this, well, let's just do it. Why not? Like, the idea part for me was easy. The hard part for me was editing, or is editing, because I'm going to figure it out as I go along. I'm still learning. And at first I didn't have all the, I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have several. I had a laptop. It just was trash. It was old.
I mean, tech matters.
It matters.
Matters.
So I was doing everything on my phone, and switching from a phone to an actual laptop. That transition was something, and it was, well, how do you do this? I don't want to do this, but because I also have a standard of what I want things to look like, I'm just not about to throw out any trash. So it was okay, but this is not coming out right. You know what? But also during that process, learning that it may not be exactly what you want, but if it's smooth and it's clean, it's okay. So I think for me that's the hardest part. And scheduling. God. So, scheduling is an adventure. It's between guests and your personal life, because we all have children, jobs, relationships, family. Like, so scheduling is it's a task. But we've been doing it for a year now, so I'm happy. I'm excited.
Sounds good. So we're gonna rate this as we go. So this is, again, a dry white, Bald Eagle White. All of our wines are brought to you by Romano Vineyard and Winery. That's where we went. Check the vlog.
Yes.
If you haven't, click on the little box, save it, watch it. And we're gonna review all of these. So let's start with this one. This was from our For the Culture episode.
We were doing coping versus survival.
Coping and survival. So originally, Michelle gave this a 4.5. Do you stick there?
I'm a stick there. I love this wine. I do.
The husband.
Say it like
I'm gonna give this a 1.5. This is dry. It's bitter.
Okay.
Cleanse my palate.
Not with liquor.
You got what
I
does it for you. I have what does it for me.
I actually don't mind this. It reminds me of a Chardonnay, which we are actually doing Chardonnay May. So this is, a good segue to that, I guess.
Dry tongue up.
It is. It is. So,
sucks for somebody.
I don't think I could do this on a regular, but it's about average, maybe. The other part is I know that it's been sitting, not only a week, but still. I would give it a 3. It's okay. It's a 3.
Okay.
Sorry.
I give it a 2.5.
Oh,
I give it a 2.5. I'm not really. I don't really drink dry.
Okay.
And I'm a red wine drinker, so I give it 2.5.
How does
It wasn't
that work?
That's
terrible.
That's high.
How are you a
That's
red
like in
wine
the middle.
drinker that don't drink?
Because
He doesn't
red,
like dry
so
white.
yeah, I don't like dry white.
Okay,
But
okay.
red wine, if it tastes, the closer it tastes to liquor, I'm happy. Like
Okay.
that's just where I'm at. So,
I get it.
but you know, it is what it is. 2.5. That's what you get.
All right. All right. So now, sir.
You get to pick the question.
Oh,
Sir.
let me see. Let me see.
Before we do the question,
What's
let
the
us know
wine?
the wine.
What you're grabbing?
What is this? I'm gonna let y'all do this.
Oh,
Rougeon. It's a Rougeon.
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 Yes.
Look at your
All right,
chef.
we're gonna try this Rougeon.
Is there a description on the
better than
Rougeon?
Fouquet.
I'm not reading no description.
No, I was just saying.
If it
Under the
says
title,
sweet or
it doesn't
dry,
say
it's-
sweet, dry.
It's a sweet red wine.
Dump yours.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. And I got it.
All right, fellas. Sweet red wine and ladies. Marshall,
was gonna
I
rinse
hope
it
you like
out,
it.
Marshall.
Pour
Let me see, huh?
pour up.
I was
You want
going to rinse it out, but
Oh.
it's okay because it's so white.
Yeah.
So it's not
It's
as
All right.
bad.
All right. We shall
Okay.
see. We shall
And
see.
question number 2.
Okay. Question number 2. I want to know something that you learned about each other that you feel like you wouldn't have learned if you didn't do this podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Because y'all have been around each other for a while.
For a long
But
time.
I'm sure this may have opened a door that it's like, whoa.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. For me, I learned. So I already knew how. I already knew my sister's personality, but I learned how. I don't know another word for this. Anal.
Wow.
She can be about getting things done.
Yes. Yes.
Which for me, because I can be scatterbrained. I can be a little OCD sometimes too. But for me, and knowing that we're doing this together, I never want her to feel like she has to do everything. So for me, it was, let me do this, because if I don't, she's going to, and she's already doing X, Y, and Z. I'm a big girl, you know what I'm saying? We in this together.
Right.
I got, let me do this part. And then, I think as time went on, she was like, okay, well, you know what? If you're going to do that, then fine, I'm going to let you have it. So I think that's the biggest, like, I knew how she was, but like, I was like,
I'm going to need you not to.
don't get in trouble.
Hey,
Don't
look,
get in trouble.
all I'm gonna say is this: I'm still here, but there have been moments where it was get the glass, wait a minute, the other glass. Okay, now hold mine. Why didn't you get the first glass?
Can I have my glass, please? Thank you.
But yeah, I tell her all the time, I'm like, I like it because it keeps me focused.
On your toes.
It keeps me okay, you know what? All right, you know, and if nothing else, like I do my mama, let me do this so I don't have to hear her mouth.
Whatever your motivation,
Whatever
I'm not
it is,
offended.
it gets it done. And then that's the other part. She's like, yeah, it's fine with me. It got done.
It got done.
The goal was met. So that's the
tells
one
me-
thing.
That tells me how much you don't pay attention. Because she was the only one on task for the wedding.
Well,
Outside of the extra.
well, I knew that.
But
so
she knew
that's
that,
why
and that's why she
picked
made
her.
me made of honor.
Right. I was like, I knew. That's what I'm saying. I knew who she was. It's just to the level when this came about of us meeting every week and doing this and reaching out and answering the email and that's when I was like, oh.
It's also different to do a long term. Like the wedding was a one time
Mm-hmm.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, and done.
Thank God.
Thank God. You ain't got to tell me.
No, me neither.
You got a little too used to my presence. I'm not part of your marriage.
He turned around. He said, "But where's Siobhan?" I was like, "She at home." Well, she not coming over. No,
The wedding is over.
The wedding is over.
I treated you like Mickey.
But she need to come back. Well, then you call her. What? Siobhan
Then
was
I did
like-
call. I called you one time. And let me tell y'all, he was in the back like, so you just not gonna come get a waffle? I was like, Rob, if you miss me and want me to come get him, that's all you gotta say.
That's all you gotta say. I was like, sis, he needs you. He needs your presence, okay?
Going through a
Clearly, it was a problem. It was a problem, okay?
I have nobody for the witty banter.
I will say I got to know Rob being made of honor for that daggone wedding.
Yes.
That was a year and a half.
Yes.
Anyway, so
Of planning.
Of planning. So, what did I learn about my sister on this? She's good if you give her a focus and a goal. And it's not that I didn't know that because I've seen it. I think what surprised me is it's been a year. In addition to the fact that when we were doing this research, we read like 90% of podcasts don't even make it to episode 20.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, less than half don't make it to 20. Then when you cut that, the other half really doesn't make it to 50. Then like to get to 100, we haven't hit 100. We're at like 50 because it's about a year because we're a weekly situation. We've outdone so much. I didn't know if we'd have made it together. I think what I learned from my sister in this is that one, and I think this is a good lesson for anybody, we can agree to disagree.
Yep.
And still
move
forward. I mean, it's been Wednesdays where like it's gotten heated, guys. If y'all listen, and we still got that meeting on Monday. So you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get up out your feelings.
Period.
Shoot.
And the thing is, half the time in between that, I may not send her something or she didn't send me something. So it's like, okay, we still got stuff to do.
We still got stuff to do.
We still got goals.
So I think I learned the strength of. I learned about my sister that I can depend on her. I learned that in business, she is a good business partner. You may have to guide her. You may have to keep her focused on task because she does get scattered brain.
Yes, I do.
But she is a good partner. I can't say that forever. I've done business with various people. Man, I can't say that. So that's been my biggest lesson in this, I think.
Cool.
So
you know what my biggest lesson is right now?
what's good?
I need a fan.
It is hot. I forgot how hot lights are. But y'all gotta see us. So here we
Deal
go.
with it. Deal
I
with
feel like my balls.
Right.
Hot in these lights.
it. Right. The person in the room that probably sweats the most. Deal with it.
Probably. You are absolutely right.
All right.
So this is the. You want to say it again? The husband. What was this?
I can't even tell you. What is it? Rougeon?
The Rougeon.
Rougeon.
The Rougeon.
There you go.
So this is a sweet red that I had in the 48th episode, whatever that was. So I originally gave this a 3. I'm gonna drop this to a 2.5 to a 2. Here's the thing. It to me is it is reminiscent of our January wine collection in its sweetness to me. And it's also, I acknowledge, been sitting for like 3 weeks, and that's the other thing when you pop it. But I will say this: if you get this red, a sweet red, with most sweet wines, they're not meant to last long.
That's true.
So when I got it, it was a 3. At this point, it would be a 2. That's a statement to sweet wines. If you get them, drink them. But it wasn't that. It didn't move me to start with. So I'm gonna give it a 2. Le Boyfriend.
I think I'm gonna go with your original 2.5.
I gave it a 3 originally.
Oh well.
So no, you're not.
Yeah, then I'm not going with the original. I give it a 2.5 in between her original and her current. How about that? It wasn't bad. I feel like when you first opened the bottle, it probably was better. It wasn't bad. That's all I got for it.
Okay. The husband.
I'll give it a 3. It has a nice little taste to it. It's not dry. It almost reminds me of a red Moscato.
Okay.
But so I'll give it I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, my rating was going to be a 3 as well. It does give the remnants of a red Moscato. It is kind of a medium body. It's not heavy. I feel like if this was a little lighter, it might taste a little bit better with crispness to it. But it wasn't bad. I give it a 3. It's something that I feel like if I was going someplace and I knew they were Moscato drinkers, I would introduce them to this to get them out of Moscato. Because to me, that's thought juice. I call it thought juice. I'm sorry for anybody who likes Moscato. I call it thought juice.
Are you a flat thought or a bubbly thought? Basically, there you go.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
I mean, but yeah, so I give it a 3. Like I said, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's a mid range. It's alright.
I feel like it's one of those
It
safe.
gets the job done.
Yes, I feel like it's like a safe choice. Like, oh, okay, if I want to play it safe, I mean, some people may like it, some people not, but it's not one of those where people taste it, they go, yeah, I'm not.
It's like a
Okay, you know? I mean, I even get people who might not like it go, I feel like they might go, I might need to mix this with something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I can see someone saying that.
Make a wine cocktail out.
Yeah, because it's a little too juicy. It's like a juice.
A juicy
It's
type.
a juicy
yeah,
type.
that's why I'm like, I feel like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be a good mix.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's one of those. I feel like that might have been in that sangria slushy.
It could have been. With
I feel like that might have
working
been
on-
mixed with the sangria slushy.
He's still working on.
So,
All right.
that's just my opinion.
So we are on to our third question.
We'll take this sip.
All right, I guess I get to pick the wine. I'm going to
Yes.
stay to my side. So we are going to go with Romano's Seyval.
Okay, the Seyval.
Seyval.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All
All
right.
right, we're gonna keep this light this time around.
Oh well, hold on. Please don't break.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
Is the cork?
The corkscrew is up there. I put it up there
I
just
got
in
it.
case.
He inch it. He
I
inch
got
it. Okay.
Finesse.
Okay.
He's still working on it. Okay, so what's your least favorite podcast episode and why?
My least favorite.
Your least favorite. 'Cause you know, everybody has a topic that you guys chose to discuss, but it's one of them. I could have
I got it.
done without.
I got it.
All right, go for it.
I don't remember the number. I would have to look it up. Being a daddy's girl. I did not want to do that one.
Trigger.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. And it's not, let me be clear that I support active, involved, good fathers. I definitely do. It's not that. I find it very difficult from my personal experience, though, to talk about good fathers from a personal place of experience, though. Like, in my own, I have seen them, involved active fathers and whatever, and in addition to a couple others, people come to mind, quite frankly, but that one mine. So, so not after a certain age. I don't want to make it look like it was terrible, but like once puberty hit, for me as a girl, I basically lost my dad slowly, but it pretty much died in 4 years. And the start of puberty did that, and as a black female, puberty started a little early, so it was done by high school. Yeah, middle school was rocky. So that was an episode to me that was like, I gotta always, anytime we talk about fathers and personal experiences with fathers, I always have to like come at it from a very, very different place. Like it's usually thinking of my uncle or my grandfather or my brothers. So I mean, I guess, to an extent, trigger, man. Like I try not to be that person, but I'm just kind of like, well, you leading this conversation. I'm just come in and out. I'm a chime, cause I don't really have much to say.
My least favorite episode. I'll be honest, I don't know. No, I do know. My least favorite episode was the episode that we did with Sean. That was
level up. The
level up. And I think it was my own personal trigger in that.
Because the original got.
Well, no, not that. No, I mean just like in the title level up. Yeah, I just think that for me, Because I went back after the episode and like after we taped the recorder, I went back and watched it and re-listened to it, and I felt like I said, it was a within me thing, and it still is. I felt convicted. I did, like, but you need to do better. Like, talking to myself.
Right.
So for me, I think that was it.
I got that. I understand that.
Yeah.
So both of you chose things that kind of triggered you personally.
That's understandable.
And I think though, but to an extent, I think the podcast has given us that space. Like, for me, I'll say it's also done that.
Yeah, a self-check.
It's been a self-check on a couple episodes, and hearing, it's not that for a lot of this, I don't know her general stance on some things, but it's different to hear the detailed explanation of why, or the detailed defense of her position, because it makes you go, okay, well, I knew you stood on that side, whether we agree or we disagree, but I didn't quite get why. Or I also learned that she's good at articulating, because like, we have known each other a long time. There's not much. Most of the time, if we disagreed, it was always in like a passing conversation. It would surface. I don't think this. I think this. Oh, okay. Moving on. We are literally basically forced on a conversation for an hour where we know going in the gate, like the pretty privileged one. And if you haven't seen Pretty Privilege, click the box. The pretty privileged.
It's suggested up top.
The pretty privileged one.
I thought you would choose that one.
We knew going into
you
it.
You were triggered on that one.
Here's the thing about
you
pretty
always
privilege.
felt like the ugly friend.
It's not but see,
you were triggered on that one.
But the thing with that is, the ugly friend thing that I went through in school was very real. It happened, and I've lived with it. Like as an adult, I'm not still triggered by what somebody said to me in 6th grade.
Right.
I'm not triggered by what another student said to me in 8th grade as much at 34, damn near 35. I'm not as triggered. I don't, these are things and experiences.
I feel old now.
These are things and experiences that happened to me that have shaped who I am.
I think I
but they don't hit me on a level of trigger like
they
parents.
Right.
That's different. Like you talking about a parent versus, in the grand scheme of life, some rando that I happen to go to school with. I didn't choose my parent either, but we have, me and a student, you and another colleague or student or whatever, y'all don't have any ties to each other. That literally is just fate put y'all together. I didn't choose the school. You didn't choose the school. We happen to be in the same district. I didn't choose this class. You didn't choose this class. We happen to be in the same class together, especially in that age, because it's not like high school where you can kind of get with your friends and be like, what's your schedule?
Right.
This is elementary school. But a parent is, I didn't ask to be here, and you have responsibility. As a child, I know this. As an adult who is still your child, I know this. So the pretty privilege to me wasn't as much of a trigger, and I knew going into that we were already going to be here. But again, it was a matter of, I'm not that person that wants to be around everybody that agrees with me. If you disagree with me, great. But be able to explain your case and your case. Don't parrot to me what you heard from somebody else. Don't come to me, well, such and such said, well, I had heard that, well, this, that. No, if you can come to me, I don't agree, because in my experience, and that was why Pretty Privilege didn't bother me, because I knew Michelle's experience and my experience were not the same experience.
Right. But
I knew she was speaking from an authentic, genuine place, and not coming to me like, well, my friend Katie said, and then I had this friend from
I don't have no friend named Katie.
But you know what I mean? Like, when people try to tell you something
from
and
someone
use other
else's
people.
point of view. Right, no, and I feel like, speaking to that episode specifically, I feel like for me, that episode opened things up, where Siobhan shared some of her experiences, and I was like, oh, well, damn, I didn't know you went through that, which created a vulnerable space for me to open up to some of my experiences, but also look at it from, most of the time people think pretty privilege, they think of it from the quote-unquote ugly girl's perspective. They don't look at it from the quote-unquote pretty girl's perspective, and which is kind of biased, but this world is very biased. So it was kind of like, hey, but wait a minute, because I've kind of been on the other side too, where it's like, hey, now I got to worry about X, Y, and Z. I don't feel like going through through this, that, and the other. And I think sometimes when we think of certain subjects, we don't take the time out to step out of our personal experiences and look at it from literally the other side or the other position. So us not always agreeing, I think it opens that up to where we can say, oh shoot, there's another side to this, and it's just as real as mine. So that's the one thing, just overall in general, that I do truly appreciate, because we have some of the same experiences, but we don't have the exact same experiences. We don't have the exact same outcomes. We don't have the exact same stories.
And our mentality is different.
And completely different. And like, I mean, even just the day-to-day going about, you know. I mean, watch the episodes, y'all. Just go down the playlist, watch the episodes. I'm trying to tell y'all, we get deep. We get deep. You know, we be scratching surface and we be having fun, but we get deep. You know. But yeah, what was the question?
Coming soon. Handsome guy privilege from my boyfriend and the husband.
Oh,
I'm
they
here for
won't
that
be
episode.
included in the episode.
It's
gonna be on their podcast.
We just get paid vacation.
But
vacation?
It's always a paid vacation.
So when we do this episode,
we taking over.
There's not gonna be any wine out here. There's gonna be liquor that day. It's gonna be real liquor. We're gonna be like fellow alcoholics. We're gonna keep it real.
Don't encourage
alcoholism.
Drinkers might be one.
Fellow drinkers.
Fellow drinkers. It's okay to be an alcoholic. You don't have to be anonymous about it.
Right.
Mickey Jr. I'm gonna give
Just
you
don't
my
always
nickname
combine
now.
it with stuff like it's okay to be an alcoholic, but don't be an alcoholic and drive, or date, or operate machinery. That type of situation. You know, just.
Okay, so what's your rating on this one?
Or in our case, you know, get drunk and then decide we gonna get married. Yeah. That's how it happened.
I've heard so many different accounts of this. How this
First of all, what you won't do is put it out there like that's the only reason that happened. That's not.
Did we not have a whole bottle of Jose?
Okay.
But you were
future episode.
Listen.
Things that happened while drinking.
They were sober.
We were sober when we said I did.
Well, I wasn't there for that part.
I want to hear that. I want to be a part of that episode because I wasn't there. I only heard about it, so I need to piece this story.
We're gonna label that episode. How did you know?
No, How I Met Your Mother. No, I'm stop.
I love that movie. I love that show.
I did too.
I love that show.
We were in cooking
Did we ever see
class,
the mother?
and I looked up, and I seen all this hanging out the seat.
I don't remember.
She was blank.
Oh, okay.
And it basically ended about Robin, so that was anyway.
Right.
This Seyval.
Oh, it did make it to the end?
Yeah. You never seen the whole thing?
No,
I've
never seen like that last season.
The last season is when you see the mother.
Okay, yeah, I didn't.
The mother comes out. She was the guitar player at Barney and Robin's wedding.
Yeah, that's
I feel like I missed
that's
that.
her show. So
I love How I Met Your Mother.
I have seen it.
That's my white show. That's one of my white shows that I like.
I have a
That's your
couple.
white show.
That, Psych.
Third Rock from the Sun.
That's my show.
My parents used to watch
The
that
Big
one.
Bang
NCIS
Theory.
Big Bang
New
Theory.
Yep,
I like Big Bang
NCIS.
Theory.
Like, we
Hey,
on
I
the
was-
culture here.
I was a fan of that '70s show. That was.
I like some of
That's
the
my shit.
seasons.
I
but not all of it.
I was in and out of that one.
No.
Selective seasons.
Yeah.
That was prime example how the nerd can get the hot chick.
Yep, absolutely.
I will agree with that.
So this
Okay.
Seyval.
So this the
All right.
ball.
The husband. Let's start with you. Where you at?
I'm gonna put that a little bit above the first white, and I'm gonna get that at 2.5.
Okay.
I can live with that, you know, once in a while. But yeah, that's definitely not every night.
No, this is more of a. And they said it too. Either a
Occasion,
Riesling
yeah.
or I think it's more of a
Along with-
Riesling type dry than Chardonnay.
Right. This was my wine, right?
Yeah, you originally gave it a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little bit dry.
I'm surprised you liked it. I'm surprised you put it at
No
a
pun
4
intended.
considering it wasn't dry.
It's
Right.
a semi-sweet.
It's a
It was
semi-sweet,
actually
but I
flavorful.
think that's why I liked it, because it was a semi-sweet, but it didn't give me that punch of sugar.
Right, that's true.
It's very like subtle, like it's very not subtle. It's even
Mm.
throughout. Like you don't go woo. It's like, oh okay,
Oh wait, this is this?
yes,
Oh no, this is semi-dry.
okay. Well
A
then,
delightful semi-dry white that showcases dried apricot and honey with notes of melon.
yeah.
Apricot.
So yep,
That's good
I enjoyed this. I think I like Romano.
Did I not bad? So I'm gonna give this a 3.5. I think it's the apricot and honey are good to me. I was like, ooh, it's not as, to Rob's point, it's not as bitter as this one, which is
The Bald Eagle.
The Bald Eagle, which is a dry wine that has nice fresh citrus and that's why I
It's
like
the
it.
citrus,
Citrus and rose petal
Yep.
aromas complemented by a fruit filled
We know you
palate.
don't like the rose. She
Y'all
don't
know
like
I
them.
don't like
She
them
don't. She don't do florals.
And the citrus together, that's why.
Yeah, she don't do florals.
The citrus
Look,
and
we
rose,
learning.
yeah, citrus and rose together is bitter dry.
I feel like we learning each other's wine choices.
Yeah. So like a dry citrus and a dry fruit, because that's apricot and honey,
Mhm.
which honey gives you the sweetness, is why yes, that to me is a 3.5. Le Bois Blanc,
What did I give the first week?
a
2.5.
2.5. You've been
2.5,
living in
yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm going with a 3 on this. I did like it better than the first one, so I'm gonna do a step above. I'm still not really a white drinker, but I
Right.
can see this with if this was on the table with maybe like a seafood deal, like an
You want me to
alpha.
go make
Now
it
I
some
know
salad?
I am
No,
the only one
steak.
that's
Steak.
been kind of like
Steak or
Vivian.
waffle? That's your
Vivian
job.
and the
Steak or waffle.
cheeses. But we have a sharp cheddar,
Kobe Jack.
a Kobe Jack.
Pepperoni is one of them, right?
Yeah, the meats. No, we
Pepper
have some
Jack.
other cheeses
Oh,
here
Pepper
too.
Jack.
Pepper Jack.
Pepper
What's this?
Jack. I feel
Is that
like
a
one
white
is
cheddar?
white cheddar, one is Kobe. We have a few different cheeses, so I have been trying to. I know your palate is so much richer than mine. I have been trying to like kind of
That's a
pair
white
them,
Is it?
pair them with either the pepperoni or the salami and the cracker, just to kind
And
of
see if you get something different.
if I get something different.
I probably.
I
should've
will
did that.
say this was really good with the pepperoni. I
Okay.
can't remember which.
It's
cheese
probably
I
because
picked up.
pepperoni is the hot, and
Yeah.
that honey and apricot. You
and it gave a nice little mix. I don't remember which cheese I picked, so oops.
But you know, one of them it balanced.
It was
one of them.
it was nice. It was nice. It was
The
nice.
Pepper Jack with the pepperoni. That'd be a nice.
Okay.
So you need like a spice,
A
or
spice.
like a hit of pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
he,
that.
but he likes spicy stuff though. I'm mild. I'm mild and plain.
You definitely not. You were spicy. That might be why I married your ass.
And so,
All right.
first question before this becomes
All
something
right.
else.
All right, pick the
Roberto,
wine.
you are picking
Pick
for
the
the
wine.
wine, please.
You already did that one.
No, he
No.
didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
They
I
are
thought you
similar.
had to read top
No,
ten.
everything
I saw the blue.
You
I saw the blue. I need you to read
I
top.
was gonna throw a monkey wrench and reach across the table. I said, I'm gonna let you have your side.
Yeah,
and let's have my
because if you do
side.
that means I have to do that. And when I knock everything over, I
So-
want nobody to say
I'm saying everything.
This is the perfect one. Smitten. Because apparently we both smitten
We smitten, right? Yeah.
with these ones to the
I'm
left
alright
and
with
the right
that. I've been
of
called
us.
worse.
So, you know,
You good with that?
blink 3
And the
times and
question-
I help.
Oh, so
And
the
the
question. So he said the least. What was your favorite episode?
I know my favorite episode.
okay,
I
go
know
for
off the top. My favorite episode was the episode that did not get recorded. And that is another one with Sean.
The
The
wine
wine out with Sean, guys. We thought we were recording.
I remember that.
When I say it was so spontaneous,
It was about
It was
loyalty.
about loyalty, and we are going to run that back
Loyalty,
with
loyalty.
Sean. But it was such a great episode for us to find out literally at the end,
It didn't record.
nothing
What was this one called again?
was
Smitten.
recorded. So for that, and that, when I say
Truly.
heartbroken, lessons learned, we triple check to make sure things are being recorded. Wait a minute, what's going on? Hold up, start over again, pause. Like that right there was probably our biggest heartache
That
and
was
our
a
biggest lesson learned through this whole entire year.
Are you
Make
recording?
sure
Are you
it's
sure?
recording. Double check, triple check, and check again. When I say that episode was so genuine, it was so free flowing. It, for me, that seemed like that was for me our first wine out that would have been like flawless. It had its ups, it had its not downs, but its low points. Like it was
a good flow.
It was a good flow.
It was a lot of laughs.
A whole lot of laughs.
It was a lot of good points. She was a good interviewer. Listen,
She was. Yeah, she flipped the script on us. Like, we was like, hold up. But nothing got recorded. So, for me, that was the biggest one. That was my favorite episode. So, sorry, guys. You guys will never see that one in its originality. But,
hey Leslie.
hey, Sissy!
I don't know when she joined, but
But, for me, that was the... That would have been my favorite one. Now, for the favorite one that was recorded, y'all ain't seen yet, is Let's Talk About Sexy with the girls. Mm-hmm. We had so much fun.
Which definition of girls?
me.
The girls.
Yo, oh, okay, because our definition of girls might be different. The girls, yeah. Because you said with the girls.
Not with
That's
the breasticles, chesticles, but
The-
with the
I'm
ladies.
never,
It was
ever gonna-
ladies
I'm never
edition.
gonna call
We
them
didn't know if
breasticles.
it was a them in there, you know.
Mm-mm.
Because when she
I
was sexy,
identify
she
as.
No, that's because.
right.
Wait,
right,
she
exactly.
said it like that because.
Exactly.
She said it like that because we did a Let's Talk About Sexy on a Wine with the
With
Guys.
the guys,
So
right.
click the button.
Because I don't know about you, I was gonna ask some questions because I wasn't present.
No.
I mean, me either.
Right. So,
No.
No, but
ask some
It
questions.
airs
That-
it airs
Yeah. They
second
asked some
Wednesday.
less sexier guys. I don't know.
oh Lord. Anyway, that was one of my favorites.
When you talk about sexy,
because it was
if
just-
you're not asking here, I don't know what to tell you.
That was one of my favorite episodes because I don't know, it was just free flowing and it was fun, and we tried to do a nice combination of heavy and fun, informative but fun, and that one just was a we just gonna talk about, we're gonna be girls for a minute, you know, and I'm all about being girly. Okay.
Yes. Speaking of, my favorite episode. So since she gave 2, I'ma give 2. I don't have, but I don't have.
You can give your 2,
But I got favorites of
If
2,
you know your
boo.
two,
I got
you should
favorites
give
of
your 2.
series. So
Go
I got
ahead,
favorites
list them, boo. This our anniversary.
We not a scale from 1 to 10.
No, okay. If I only have to pick one,
You can do one in a run up.
my number 1 would be being submissive. That was my favorite one.
Her epiphany.
Huh?
Do tell.
Being submissive was my favorite episode because I think of what the catalyst was for it. And the catalyst for it was my epiphany in my personal, again, like I said earlier, we have personal reflection moments with this podcast, whether while we're recording it or life happens and we have a moment and we're like, oh, we should talk about this. So for me,
Okay.
there was a moment that happened in life.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but the salami hit better with the pepper jack than the pepper.
Okay.
Random
Go
thought.
ahead. He catching some. Of
He
my
catches some of your
Right,
brain. I
right.
just gotta let that go. It was that because to me, it was the catalyst for it. If you haven't seen that episode, check it out. But long story short, I had a moment in following Le Boy Funk in his truck in my car while in my car that made me realize what submission is and how it's just over. It's not. I understand a lot of females' aversion to that statement, but in its most simplistic terms, it's really just following somebody in the car. Like that was
following somebody's lead.
Following somebody's lead, like and from the person leading, knowing that there's somebody behind you, so you can't, and acknowledging how they are driving through life, and so If you know that the person that you're with is a slower driver, you can't be a speed demon on the highway. If the person behind you can't make quick turns, know who's behind you. And it was a moment, again, watch the full episode, but it was basically a moment with a truck where he bobbed and weaved between trucks. And he said after, well, I knew you had me. I knew if I did this dip, you could dip with me. And I was like, one, you know
we was
getting it. Number two was, I literally had this moment around Annapolis. So 45 minutes to the other 45 minutes to the, because we're going to my storage unit. To the storage unit was literally me sitting in the car like, yo, this is submission. Like it was just a right bulb moment, and I think being submissive is one of my favorites because we don't always get to record our moments in time. Like sometimes you get memories that you have to think back on. Mm-hmm. It's like when you have your favorite picture of a moment that you didn't even know somebody else maybe took while you were laughing with somebody that may be there or not be there anymore, whatever. And you're like, yo, that was a great moment. I didn't even know you had this picture.
Right.
Like it was one of those that I got to solidify in time. Mm-hmm. That memory, like that memory is held.
Corona. Bless you.
That memory is held because of that podcast, and so I salute.
Bless you.
Allergies. Sorry.
I learned so much about me, and it was a bonding moment, I think, between us as well. Because as she said in the episode, I was always like, I hear you about what being submissive is. You kick rocks. You can kick rocks. All of that can kick rocks.
Yep.
Boulders.
And I was just like, okay.
But it was. I had to come to Jesus moment, and so it was good.
Did.
That's probably my favorite.
And your second favorite? Because I'm gonna let you give two.
My second favorite, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a specific episode. It's a series. I love the Wine with the Guys.
Okay.
Episodes. And the reason I love them so much and I look forward to them so much is because, and the reason that I wanted to start that series, because that was my little baby as we were planning this out.
Yes, it is.
Was because men and women deal with each other and don't talk to each other enough.
Correct.
We don't listen to each other, men or women. And I wanted to be sure that if I wasn't going to be one of those people sitting around complaining about it, I was going to be like, you know what? I may not know a whole bunch of guys, but I'm going to get the guys I know, and we're going to have real conversations. That may make me uncomfortable as a female, that may make them uncomfortable as a man, and we're going to record these, and we're going to put them out in the world, in the universe, and see what becomes, and hopefully people learn something. I love all of the whining with the guys, even if it's stuff that guys say that makes me go, or cringy, because
I feel like we have never cringed more than with the Wine with the Guys episodes. Like some of them we be like,
even if it's episodes we don't necessarily agree, because again, as women, our perspective is going to be different. But to have the conversation, period, which is like one of the biggest mottos and mantras of A Little Something to Whine About of this podcast, is communication. Mm-hmm. Even between the two of us, because we don't always agree. I mean, we mentioned pretty privilege, but that is not the only one.
No. Shoot, finances. Literally, at the end, I was like, well, we're going to agree to disagree to that, and we're going to move on.
And we're going to move on.
And
finances, she should have just signed out. Signed all the way up.
And we're going to move on. We are not going to touch that. So what is your rating of the Smitten?
Are you smitten with Smitten?
Ooh.
I am.
Excuse
you
me.
are.
I am.
You are smitten with Smitten.
am. Do tell.
This sweet white, do tell.
Do tell. I'll give that a 4.
Oh.
I actually like that. I appreciated that. It was flavorful. Like, I did like the blend of fruits in there. It wasn't super sweet, but it wasn't bland.
So what, can you read the bottle? What does the bottle say about the wine?
Yo no comprende.
Oh Lord! So it says playful and provocative. This sweet white blend.
Oh, it's a white blend.
It already touched me.
Playful, it's provocative
and provocative. Yeah. Boom.
You were smitten with Smitten.
It was provocative and extremely playful, huh?
Playful and
you had me at hello.
This sweet white blend will keep you guessing.
It keeps you guessing. Are you guessing?
Are you guessing? Also makes a great cocktail wine. So yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, there's
like
that.
That's about it. It's very simple. So you said a 4?
He said a 4.
I'm going to give this a 4 as well.
Oh.
I'm not a sweet wine drinker, but as you can tell, I have been tasting this wine with several different cheeses, both types of meat on the table. Shut up! That's what I didn't want to say.
I know.
Is that dark and light? Is that what that is?
Y'all done? Are y'all finished?
Story of our life.
Is you done or is you finished?
Nope.
Anyway.
Working on it. I told you he was working on it.
I enjoyed this. I feel like this is one of those wines that it can go with just about any meal. Like, it doesn't have to be like a specific type of meal. I feel like it can go with your everyday, like, even if you want to break it down, your sloppy joe and French fry day, like, you can still have this glass of wine.
That's bougie shadow.
That's Bouchetta. Look, that's me.
Sloppy
Okay.
Joe with a glass of wine. That's
Whatever you got in your refrigerator.
That's a whole.
You
That's
have
a
those
whole
days.
different.
First of all,
You have
No,
those
and
days.
I get you, but that's
I
a
will
whole
do sloppy
different
joe,
deal.
French
Like,
fries, and a glass of wine in a heartbeat. This is why my sister Eureka calls me Bougetto. Because I got a bougie side and I have a ghetto side, and sometimes they clash, and that's what they get.
Literally, we just watched a video earlier about nerd nigga, so it's fine. We can be bougie together.
That's gonna be a glass cling right there. You know what I'm saying that word?
yeah?
Nerd to cling. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's what we doing. Let's get it popping. That's another one we can steal.
Okay.
Can we steal that one
We're
too?
still in that one too. Oh, I definitely could because I fit in both categories. So
Oh,
I
Lord,
definitely.
here we
I
go.
don't
that's
as
a story.
much.
We've been.
I don't as much when it comes to, especially high school wise. When I got to college, it was fuck that shit. But
Right.
high school wise, I was books first,
Look.
so I can definitely blend in there. But I just happen to be that athlete.
Look, I'll say this and I'll say this quick. I just remember that if it was a party, I was at it.
But
I did some things that you wouldn't think I was a nerd, and next thing you know, we're sitting in there for beta for the honor ceremony, and I got called up there, and everybody was like, "But how you do this with us? That makes no sense." And I'm like,
You can be
why?
duality is a thing.
It's a thing.
I understand.
It's a thing.
Folks
It's a
don't
real
understand.
thing.
My first party, senior year, and folks be like, "What? Yeah, I came home. I did my work. I went outside to go play. Parties, I wasn't interested in it.
"Yeah, I
Don't care about it.
I still remember when he came to homecoming. Like, that's how much of a big deal it was. Like, it was a whole fiasco. Like, girls running to the bathroom crying. Like,
what? Because you came to homecoming?
That's crazy.
It wasn't because I came to
We need-
homecoming.
we need to
It's
talk. We
because
need to hear
she
the story.
said she wasn't coming. Once you tell me you're not coming, I don't do the pop-ups. Never have, never will.
no, not me. Not
When
me.
you pop up,
Oh, yeah,
I had
was
nothing
about
to
say.
No,
you-
no,
they-
no,
In high school, I wouldn't
Let's
have nothing to
start
do
it
with
then.
him.
Okay.
when you pop up on me, I'm gonna have the same energy I had before you showed up.
Oh, I got you.
Not me, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
are invisible because you're not.
I feel like
even
that is
here.
what do y'all can say? A wine for another
That's a
time?
wine
Yeah,
for
that's
another
a good
time.
wine
We
for
gonna
another
do
time. Because I want to hear this
story
story,
time.
but I know we're cut on.
So,
I need to
story
know this.
So
time.
Smitten,
For you two.
I originally gave it a 2. I think I'm gonna give it a 3. Ironically, this got better with time, which sweet wines don't normally do.
Mhm.
This was better now than it
It
was
was
when we first had it.
Was this the one that wasn't quite chilled, though, when you first had it?
It could have been, but it's not really that chilled right now under these lights.
Touche.
All right.
So what about you?
Oh no, I give it a 4. I give it a strong 4.
I mean, we definitely
because
tested.
I can honestly say that I want to say that it was a little more chilled the first time I tried it. This time it's a little warm, still good, and it gives that feel of a starter wine. Like I feel like I can give somebody that's never had wine before, I can give them this,
And it'll be a good intro.
It'll be,
Yeah.
It also a transition from
Mhm.
Moscato. I can see that.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
so if that's the only wine that you drink,
It reminds me of a semi-sweet Riesling, or a
Right.
semi,
Yeah, I
or
give
yeah,
that. I give
like,
that.
and I think that's why I give it a 3.
yeah, I give it a strong 4. It's good.
Initially, it tasted too juicy to me, but now with time, it's better. So 5th, we only on 5. 5th wine, 5th question. Well, I mean, we almost done. We only
Is
got
it me
6.
again? We're back to me.
Is that your favorite word? Because you used juicy twice tonight.
Oh, Lord. You done? Are you finished?
All right.
Are you
Are you done
So,
or are you finished?
let me reach up here. Oh, you know what? I'm glad
Looks
that I
like a
picked this
red.
one.
Looks like a red.
Looks like a red. It's Romano
red.
again, of course, because we're still doing that. But this is Jubilee.
Oh.
All right.
The nerd in me is excited.
Right.
Because
Same
all I
here.
can think about is X-Men right
Same
now.
here. I
Are
feel
you
like
gonna
she was
pour
the
it, or you
underrated.
just picked it up?
Yeah, I
We
took
just
it
picked that
back
one
down.
down. Like, we don't really need to taste
We don't
it.
really need it.
We can get
So-
excited over the name.
I got a question.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. I don't know.
Okay.
About the question.
Do you think this podcast took time away from your relationship or your family?
It's a good question.
I ain't got a family.
What you do?
So what about it?
But you
What you
do.
do? What you do?
So you don't consider me family? I'm just temporary. Okay, gotcha.
I would say yes.
That's how I feel. Yeah. You here for now, nigga.
I got you. All right, well, bet.
No.
You won't forget now. Then how about that? You won't
No,
forget it.
I believe anything that you start is going to take away time from your family. You know, that's outside. Anything outside of your family is going to take time away from your family. This was an investment. It's a project, which is also why scheduling is such a big thing when you do things like this. You know, you want to try as hard as possible, or as much as possible, to stick to your original scheduling, because one, managing life in general is a thing. So when managing life, you know, you manage, you know, your home life, you manage your actual work life, you manage your kids, and all of that, like interacting. I know people say, oh, it's about balance. It's not about balance, because a lot of times when one thing is like thriving, something is suffering. And unfortunately, in a lot of aspects of anything, it's family, because it's time away from them. Do we have a duty and responsibility to show our family the reasons why and what goes into things and how things can progress? Absolutely. So that they can understand, you know, that communication part that we were talking about. Talk to them, which is why that's also important. Do we understand there will be letdowns and disappointments? Yes. But you try your best to schedule things appropriately, but know that there are, unfortunately, some things that are completely out of your control, especially when you start to look to long term. You know, in the long term, how is this going to play out? What are going to be the benefits to this in the long term? So where, yes, it's a sacrifice involved, I think it's also a teaching moment for all of the little ones that are watching you, or even the other adults that are watching you, that may not be wanting to start a podcast, but maybe wanting to start a business, or maybe wanting to start, you know, do something else on the side, so that they understand that there is a sacrifice that comes with doing anything. And a lot of times, unfortunately, it is home that sacrifice that suffers first. But you have to, I feel like you really have to be intentional on your communication. You have to be intentional on your scheduling as much as possible, because we know that life is life, and stuff will come up and pop right upside the head where you didn't expect it. So we plan as much as we can, and we pray for the best. And hopefully our family members and our close friends will understand what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and why. Yeah. I hope
definitely
I didn't lose anybody. I'm sorry.
It definitely, I
No, I'm
mean,
there with you.
I agree with everything that she said. Yes, it took away. I mean, was that, when we started it, was that our thought? Was that our intention? Absolutely not. Has it come, are there things? Yes. But we also, I think, we're conscious of that. The thing is, I mean, I've had a job this whole time. My sales went up and down because of COVID, unemployment, things. But, you know, and going back to work, which we knew was going to happen, you know, you hope it's going to happen, because
Right.
this ain't
Life ain't free.
This
Okay?
ain't paying enough bills, and life ain't free. It was an investment. I think when we started this, it was a matter of, I literally was just like, yo, I found a wine app. We should start a podcast. How did you get there? What I just said.
I don't think y'all understand how much of a real conversation.
That was a real conversation, guys. If you've ever watched we've talked about this like 3 times. I'm not making this up. It's consistent for a reason. How did you get there? All I said was, hey, have you heard about this wine app? We should start a podcast. Where did that come? What? Yeah. So, but and the whole thing is that conversation happened, and I'll never forget. That conversation happened November of 2020. That conversation happened November 2020, and I remember being like, okay, because this is I know my sister, and again, as I said after the first question. She be all over the place, man. She ain't consistent. She has great ideas and no follow through. So I was just like, we should do what now? It was the we part. Had she been like, I should start a podcast, go ahead. But it was the we, and I said, well, wait a minute. That was, and it was funny because literally 2 weeks later, and he's been on the show, B. Cox. Thank you for joining. Which is Marshall's friend. And he has a bunch of podcasts. And I remember we went to dinner with him, and he was like, and Marshall was like, oh yeah, my Siobhan's thinking about partner started a podcast. And he was like, oh, word? And I was like, my sister came up with the idea. I'll get back to you. She ain't the most consistent. That was the end of 2020. 2021, I remember being home in New York, and I called her and I said, yo, do you really want to start this? And she was like, yeah. I'm going to give you homework. And that's how we got to the homework portion. But because of how it came up, I don't think that it was intentional. I also realized that with 2020, 2021, and that time, and COVID being at what it was, and she wasn't working, she certainly had more time than I did. Because I had a full-time job. I still have a full-time job. My boss at my full-time job knows about my podcast, and she literally said to me in another conversation, I don't understand how you find the time to do the things that you do. Because I also now take a stained glass class on Tuesdays, guys. So I will say, yes, it pulls from family. It pulls away from time that you may have had that's free. I mean, that's what it is. I will say when we first started doing this, the first thing B. Cox said to me because he and I had a one-on-one after I talked to Michelle, and she was like, no, I'm in here. I called B. Cox and was like, okay, give me some advice because she says she wants to do this. And his first statement to me was like, yo, it's a part-time job. Yo, it's a part-time job. And we streamlined some stuff by going all in color, as we call it, as you can see us now on YouTube and IG Live. But it's still a commitment. It's still time. But I will say we try to be conscious initially of important dates, birthdays, all of that. We have celebrations, vacations. We have a whole editorial calendar because, again, it's easy for me to be organized. Organization is what I do.
And because of my OCD, it's easy for me to go, wait a minute, let me look at this.
And that's why we literally, I built a calendar because I know she needs a visual, and so do I. So it is truly a calendar in Excel, Google spreadsheets with the calendar dates and weekly. What do we have to do? Are we recording? When are we recording? Whose birthday's coming up? Even plotting for 2020, the year, because we do it that way. Even plotting for 2020 was like, when's the boyfriend's birthday? When's the husband's birthday? Block it off right now. When is December? We don't record. We're done. What are we doing? We need these times. We need to take this. What are we doing?
Who are our guests?
All of these details are in this calendar. And
what subject have you done?
Right, and to the point of family and time, like she said, a lot of it is scheduling. And I know Monday meetings just kind of became Monday meetings because they worked. Mondays and Wednesdays are what we dedicate to the podcast, because as much as, and that's what we've set to dedicate. I'm not going to say that there aren't times where it falls over, because I'm definitely on Canva at crazy times and hours.
The other day we both were on Canva editing the same thing.
And
I was like, wait a minute, why can't I said, are you on Canva?
So I was like, yeah, I was about to ask you exactly the same thing. I'm going to get out. But I'm saying intentional. And what your intentions may be may what you want, what your intentions were may not always be what happens.
Right.
And so sometimes you need to rely on your family or your significant other or whoever else is with you to be like, hey, we setting new rules. Like le boyfriend set the no phone in the bed, which means that, you know, at 9 o'clock, because
I used to have that rule.
9 o'clock.
Followed no more.
It doesn't mean that people don't break it.
Right, and that's the other part.
It ain't followed no more.
Right.
And that's the other
Still
part.
there.
But I will say, I know that now it hasn't been followed as much because we're prepping for year 2. The launch of year 2 is officially 5/5. Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May is our official birthday. We launched 2021, 5th of May. It wasn't really intentional to do it.
It wasn't.
It happened to be the first
happened to
Wednesday
be
of May.
that.
That's literally what it came down to. It was first Wednesday of May. Last year was Cinco de Mayo. So our birthday is Cinco de Mayo. But I say that because
Where's the tequila? Where's the shot?
Okay.
Today is not Cinco de Mayo. Today is not Cinco de
But
Mayo.
when this airs,
It'll be the 4th. It'll be Wednesday, which is the 4th.
Close.
a day before. It's close enough.
A day before is not the day
Close
of.
enough.
Don't listen to it till 11:59.
Oh,
Go
you know what?
into 12.
Well, either way.
Priorities.
But okay, so the point is, yes,
What
it
you
has.
can't do is samba and then not take a shot.
It
That's what you
has.
can't do.
It has impacted family, but we have really tried as much as we can to limit that. I will say that has been our intention. Are we always successful? No. No.
Not at all.
No.
But we have gone with the best intention, the road to hell. No, I'm just playing. We have tried with best intention.
I don't think that's the road that I'm trying to be.
No, but nobody tries to get on that road. Anyway, that's my answer. Okay, so
I won't disagree with y'all, but I definitely feel like when it became, you tried to kind of 50-50 it, because again, all of a sudden it went from all I have is a phone to, oh shit, I have a laptop now.
well, I'll say this though.
It definitely is one of them now. You still have to realize
But that's
that
something.
there's still life beyond the podcast.
we I think we do. It's just the fact that it's, you know, when something is introduced to your life.
Your mind be all over the place, but
Well, I get
also
that.
at the same time, when you get focused on something, that's all you see.
I understand.
It's nothing
I
in your
get that,
peripheral.
but
That's all you see.
What
I
I'm
was-
saying is, when something is introduced and it's new, everybody is always, ooh, the new shiny thing. Like when you get a new phone, you are more on your phone because it's new and you're trying to figure it out.
when it's something you're
when it's
trying to
something
nurture and
new,
take
when it's
care of,
something
new babies,
new,
any of that.
it
'Cause
gets
this is our
majority
baby. Yeah.
of your attention.
I will say this. I'll say this. I've been around you for years. I've been around your creative ideas. I've seen it rise and I've seen it disappear. When you were doing the modeling and you were setting up a showcase, because one time you came to me and you were talking about music ideas, and I threw them to you, and then all of a sudden you were doing something else. You were doing dance for the church. I think it jumped to that, and I've done some mixes for you for church. So I've seen some of your ideas get up here and go. So I will say, as far as the consistency, it's the first time outside of modeling that I've seen you be as consistent as you are.
Amen.
Right.
We thank you.
You know, and I've seen the progression on both sides. I think at some point there will be schedules where it's like, hey, look, from 8 to 9, that's all I'm giving it today.
Right,
You know,
and we have
'cause
to learn
sometimes
to set those.
I'm definitely not going to jump on you, because sometimes she gets on Canva.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say.
In her mind, it might be
she's
5
there
to
for the
10
rest
minutes.
of the night.
But the
For the rest of the
other
night.
part of that, I will
And
say,
you try to lay down, and then all you hear is this video, and it's like, I know you trying to get it right, but I don't want to hear that.
So here's the
but
thing.
this is hold on. Let me say this. I think the other part of this is you are coming into experience now that she has a laptop and tablet. She's been taking on more stuff. So that's the other shift, because for the first year of this, she didn't have that. I was doing all of that. So this, like the editing of the video, the editing of the audio, which was taking more time because we were only doing audio. So the visual, I had to literally create the video.
That's a good switch for you.
I know it got you more time.
Switch.
It was, but that was part of the reason that I said, well, let's just do all in color, because it was taking me 4 hours minimum to even just edit. That's not including export time. That's not including upload time, because these are big files. So I think what y'all are going through is we went through the heavy stuff early because I was doing all of it. Mm-hmm. The only thing she was doing really at the beginning was Canva and Instagram. Mm-hmm. So you're coming into now with the vlog what he went through last year, and it's an adjustment while she's figuring. And it's an adjustment because she still has to figure out editing software, and I did too. It has to be
an adjustment on both sides.
It is.
No. It has to be an adjustment on both sides, which means you have to hear my point and I have to hear your point.
Right.
I don't disagree with that. I already knew, and you transitioning into something that you know nothing about, it was going to be that.
Right.
But when it becomes a point where it's every day, like if you're not even cutting it off where I'm only going to do it on these days, which means now you got full attention, anything beyond whatever the house needs on this day, it becomes something different.
I'll say this on my end. It was a couple months, and once she got it down to a science, then it went to okay, because some of that stuff she does while she's working, but she'll cut it off. Oh, some of that stuff she does while she's working with me in the house while we're doing stuff around the house. Look,
I get it. But what that's why I say I know she got her busy days at work, and then I know she got her chill days at work.
Right, but my thing is, what it was the initial side of it took a while before she got it down to a science. Once she got it down to a science, then it just slowed down. It wasn't that. Canva is the devil, all right? And I say that because the same way you have ideas, so does she. But the thing is, she'll get 120 ideas at the same time. And I've watched her one time. I don't even know if she knew that I was watching, but she's going like this. And she has a nice setup, and I'm looking like, that's nice. And then she just wipes it and starts over and starts with something else. And I'm like, why the hell did you do that?
But at least you watch it.
Right. Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes I just go like this.
Sometimes we don't want to watch it because it's one of them, you at this again? Like,
right, because
I thought we were chilling tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them. Look, I thought this was our night.
So
and now you back at it.
Chilling went to.
I'm not interested
hold on,
in that.
I got one. Hold on, let me finish this up. And finish this up went to.
Okay, so basically, we hear y'all. We hear y'all. We are not saying that we are the best when it comes to to answer the question. To answer the question, which we both answered. Yes.
Yes.
It does.
It does.
So the rating, because I got it. We got it.
Hey, trust, we're still being supportive. We're still here.
To this Jubilee, because y'all don't seem very jubilicious. I was getting there. Don't you know?
Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I don't even care if it ain't right.
We're going to go with that word. Jubilicious.
Y'all don't seem very jubilicious.
You will hear it again on a little something to wine about.
But is the wine making you feel jubilicious? Michelle, you initially gave it a 3. This was yours. You still there?
I'm there.
Okay. I got 37 likes on me.
But in your 37 likes, what do you feel about Jubilee? Are you not jubilicious?
I'm gonna get a 3.5.
Oh.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Okay. I can't go above that. Like, it's not terrible. There is a nice taste, but I think back to whose wine was this? Yeah, she cut me off. We need it for the wine out. And so I think back to that. So I can't give it that extra half a point to a point.
6.5.
So automatically it's a bad
deduction.
It's one of them. This shit was good. You like, shut up.
Right.
I can replace this. But you know what? Don't worry about it.
This was on our Wine with the Guys episode. So, okay. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I don't usually like reds, but this was a good red. Was this a sweet? This was a sweet red. I tend to lean sweet red. And it wasn't juicy. Yes, my word of the day.
For the fifth time.
For the fifth time. It wasn't. But I mean that because sometimes you get a sweet red wine, it gets real Welch's. It gets real Welch's.
Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean? It stops being wine and it starts being Welch's.
Communion.
It starts being a holy communion. This, I still want my
crackers.
I still want. Well, tomorrow is Sunday.
Oh my God!
Just that.
Okay, so let's finish that up.
But to me, yeah, it didn't get Welch's, and a lot of sweet reds crossed that line to me. That was an issue a lot with the Stella Rosa collections. They cross into juice.
Yeah,
And so this to me still maintains its wine. Like I still get grapes. And I don't get like bunches of grape juice. So that's to me why it's a 3.5. Marshall, Le Beau Fond.
Yeah. Actually, I give it a 3.5. I was giving it a 3.5 before everybody else was, but you got to me last. I thought about going to 4, but I had to stick with what I said to myself initially. So yeah, I like it. It reminds me of a stronger version of Malvasia di Casorso.
I love me some Malvasia.
So it
y'all are all welcome.
Yeah.
I literally looked at it today. I was like, I should buy a bottle of that.
Yes.
But
Look, we get about a
I'm probably
case.
gonna hide it in the car.
We get about a case and have it in the house.
And be like, I didn't touch it.
And everybody is welcome because
Yes.
that was my wine.
First of all, that was her wine.
It
But
was.
Granted, the wine is great.
Yes.
I was more concerned. Look, I'm gonna learn how to say this name because I'm feeling like
Malvasia.
I'm gonna feel
Di
like
Casorso.
Say it.
Malvasia di Casorso.
Tica
I'm here for that. Now the other
It come with all
one, I'm
the wiggle
still
up.
like, yes, it does, because that's
You
an
know, you said you
accomplishment.
like it playful and provocative. She being playful and provocative.
There you go. There you
I
go.
mean, we'll see how provocative cameras go off.
Anyway,
That's between y'all.
And there we go.
I'm all for it.
anyway,
I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
So last wine.
Last one.
Last wine,
And a
last
bonus.
question.
And a bonus. All right.
Well, we only got time for last.
So who is
We got Liberty is our last. Liberty.
Liberty. Let's do it.
So you're the last one.
Oh, I'm the last question. You know, I got my question. Actually, you know what? I do have a question. I do have a question. So here's the thing. A lot of people ask, what is your overall goal for the podcast? All right. And everybody has their own overall goals for the podcast.
Yeah, I had a couple.
But what I want to know is, what is your personal goal for the podcast? For you. Something that you want to gain within doing this podcast. Something that you either want to improve on, get rid of, so on and so forth.
A goal of mine personally would be actually to know that, because I know how my brain works, to know that not that this would be the first thing. I've done a few things that I've kept with consistently, period. But something that I actually came up with, that I was fully invested in,
Which one is this?
This is Liberty.
to learn something that I learned like beyond what I even thought of. I think for me, that would be my ultimate goal, just to see like how much, how far, how deep into one thing that you never thought you would do, you would actually like do. Because I never thought, like she said, when I said, oh yeah, we should do a podcast, did I actually think that I was gonna like do a podcast? No, I thought it was something. I thought it was something fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this could be fun. Did I know it was work involved? Yes. Did I know to the extreme extent of how much? No. I mean, I didn't. I've never been exposed to that world, so
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
But was it something that I was open to? Yes. Now that I'm here and I'm in it, it's like, oh wait. Not that I feel overwhelmed. It's, oh wait. Like, we really in this, and we've been doing this for a year. So I'm just, my goal, honestly, is just to see what new experiences, what new things I learned. One, about wines in general, but two, about myself. Where is this going to take me? Only God knows, because, it's so many things that we start that it can turn into something else that we literally were not thinking about. So I think just the excitement of the unknown is a goal of mine, and because the way my brain works, I think that's why that's a goal of mine.
So
It's
keeping
just-
the excitement.
Yeah, just
going,
keeping the excitement of the unknown and not knowing exactly like how long, how far, like what else could branch from that whole thing. It excites me and it scares the hell out of me at the same time.
Okay.
But I'm more excited than I am scared.
Okay.
My goal for this It's so funny because I think I actually achieved a goal that I didn't know I had. That somebody else brought to my attention. So, my ex-work husband. My old work cousin. Le boyfriend knows my ex-work cousin.
Yeah, apparently he is married to
He's
a possible
married
cousin.
to a possible cousin of hers. Of his.
Right, I guess. Something like that.
But it was funny because I was talking to him and I just said, hey, how you doing? I texted him one day to just be like, hey, how are you? And he was like, oh, I'm good. You know, I've been watching the podcast. Y'all are doing great. I said, oh, okay. And he said something. I said something to him about, and he was like, well, you look so confident. And I was like, what now? And the only reason I say that is because when we did first talk about starting the podcast, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And she was like, are you sure? Because you don't like being on the camera. Right. And I was like, I mean, we can do this audio only. What you mean? Why the hell would I ever need to be on front in the camera? Like, I'm never, even when I danced, I got on stage, I did whatever, but I usually, if I chose my position, I'd have been in the back. But unfortunately, I was always the person who everybody moved to the front because I knew it. I don't even think it was because I was necessarily the best dancer. It was like, you know it. They'll all follow you. You have that leadership personality because you get done. So they always push me to the front, and I'm like, yo, I was chilling in the back. Like, even in class, I was good in the back, and I always ended up in the front left or the front right. So I was either the first assistant or the second assistant. I wasn't looking for that.
I was just trying to break this down.
I was trying to.
Everybody was on one accord, and then I was
going right back where I was. But the reason that I bring that up is because it was a matter of, to me, when he said that, I was like, it made me think back to when Michelle was like, yo, I didn't think you would want to do visual. And please, let me be very clear. The only reason that all of these are in color right now is for ease on me. Because editing an audio version and a visual version and having a visual and creative visual that goes along with the words of what people was too much daggone time.
Yo, and when I say, she was like, okay, so
2022, we doing all in color.
We're doing all in color. I literally was like, are you sure? Like, remember, I mean, because I'm good with, sitting here in my hair wrap in my pajamas and we doing, like, but are you, like, for real?
Y'all, my laziness circumvents everything else. I'm tired.
Yep.
And that's what she said.
Yep.
My laziness circumvents everything else. And it did. Thank you. It's on my foot. It's okay. My laziness circumvents everything else.
Excuse me.
And I was so, like, I'm not editing 20, because again, to the question that was previously just asked, I can't keep taking time away from what I have going on. So, and what I learned the very first Wine and Color episode, yo, this cut my editing time in like a quarter. Like, instead of 4 hours, I spent 1. Like, totally. Like, to even upload, like, I was good. I need my time back. I have been living wrong, Jesus.
Look, she said she was editing, and I walked away, and I went upstairs and started working on something. She came upstairs, like, and I thought she got frustrated with something. She was like, I'm done.
I'm done.
Like, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm like, done? Like, I can stop this and we have time done?
Like, I'm done. It's over. And I remember after the first one, the second one, because I was like, maybe the first time was a fluke. You know what I mean? After the second, third, I was literally like, yo, we might really have to do all these in color. Because this is cutting time off. And now it's even shorter because I figured out, I really just edit most of the episodes. Because we really don't edit, you guys. We raw dog deal it. Like, what you see is what you get. I was editing a lot off before, like taking out and pauses because I was.
You alright? The raw dog got you? Did it?
Raw dog got her,
Did it?
Sorry.
I do.
But it was a matter of, yo, I don't have to do any of that anymore. Like, cut all of it. I don't have to take out pauses, nothing. What you see is what you get. Here you go. I just have to, because it's a different mindset when you're thinking audio. Because you want to take out the the pauses, the stutters.
You don't want dead air.
You don't want dead air. You want it to be clean. But if your focus is visual first and audio second, then what you care about is what you see. This. And so it was like, yo, if I can cut that, and that's my focus, and then the audio is just pulled from that, that's easier. It cuts so much time. And that's why I was like, yo, 2022, we just doing that. But it made me realize that was my goal, I guess, because it's never that I haven't been a confident person. I think, and this came up in the Let's Talk About Sexy Ladies edition, which airs next week, second Wednesday, if you're listening. 2 weeks if you're listening now, on second Wednesday. Confidence in a different form. I've always had confidence in my intelligence. I guess the confidence to, regardless if I got a wrap on my head, if I got a wig on my head, if you get my natural puffball, if you see me in a t-shirt or you see me in pajamas, whatever you see, what you gonna get, whether I have a full face or I just have eyes and lips, deal. Like, I think...
Or I'm just concealed and powdered, because that was me on that sexy talk.
Like, I feel like it's made me that person. My goal, that was a personal goal I didn't even know that I had. My other goal, I think, for the podcast specifically is for this to not be a bill no more.
Facts.
Y'all, and my goal is all of these 7 wines that you see on the table
Not to come out zip pockets.
not to come out zip pockets, okay? If we can get a sponsors, I would love to take off this video is not sponsored and scream from the rooftop. This is ads, guys. This is ads. This is sponsored. You still gonna get my real opinion. I'm sorry.
Honestly.
If I don't like your wine, I don't like your wine. It's not personal. It's business. But
You have to take a chance.
you want to take a chance. But if we could sit here and essentially do a wine haul with 2 other people, whether it's the boyfriend and the husband or other people, like, that is my goal, is to the point where this is not a bill. Because in addition to being a part-time job,
It's also
it's also bills, man. Like, Zoom is money. The wines are money. These platters are money. These glasses were money. These mics were money. These lights were money. This was money. This was money.
We have
These
bars.
were money. This sign was money.
Money.
All of this was money. My time is money. Everything is money, as we all know.
The laptop was money.
The
I was about to
laptop
say,
was
yeah,
money.
I know everything was money.
Please fund us.
Yeah, please. You know, we're not the boyfriend and the husband
They're not
for
just
nothing.
that. They're not.
We have been the sponsors,
the
The
silent
cameraman,
the
the
silent
silent
partners,
partners, the DJ and producer,
Facts.
all of these things. And I would love to be able to pay people who come on our show. Our guests, let me tell y'all.
Oh my God.
Thank y'all so much, because y'all have been here for a year and we ain't paying on nothing. We paid y'all in, like, I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna tag you, I'm gonna thank you, and I'm gonna give you some free wine. That's what we did.
You got wine.
If you came to the wine out, and that's if you came to the wine out. If you didn't come to the wine out, you gotta bring your own wine. BYOB.
BYOW.
BYOD. Bring your own drink. Like, if it was all of that, that would be my goal. I would love to get to the point where we had sponsorships, where if we do nothing, if this podcast does nothing but break even, that is my goal for 2. If we get to the point where in year 2, the wines are paid for,
we're no longer going in the pocket.
we're not going in the pocket for at least the wines. I would be minimum. That would be great. If we could get sponsors,
I would say the wines and Zoom.
the wines in Zoom, and you know, I mean, we gotta upgrade the Google Drive to 10. Damn it.
Yeah.
So
Overall, what she says, starting a podcast in general, yes, you hear all over the place.
it's a part-time job you pay for.
It's a part-time job. Right. You hear it's a part-time job, but you also hear other creators say, oh, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, just start it. Yes, where that's true, but you also have to think outside
your
of
family.
Your family.
Your
You think about what
finances.
what you're sacrificing, your family, your finances. Now, granted, your podcast may not be where you need wines or you need X, Y, Z. It may literally just be you speaking, but to someone. But whatever it is, think about what you're going to have to put into it. Like it is a true investment. Is it rewarding? Yes, absolutely.
We went to DC Wine Fest the other week. Vlog coming soon.
Yes.
And
Had a ball.
Had a whole ball.
And met new people.
Hopefully we'll be on the podcast. Hopefully we'll give us free wines at some point.
Look, at some point, so is there...
And building a community. opportunity. Like, guys, if you're listening, we are so thankful for you for taking time out of your schedule, your family,
Your Saturday.
your Saturday, your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever day you have to listen to this, to come over and wine with us, be it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 35 minutes, the whole hour, the hour plus, because some of these things run long. This one is running long, but y'all know it's hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We had one that was 2 hours. That was our first one out, which with Trey Proper was 2
Woo!
hours.
But we appreciate it. We are, again, we're one. We're still learning.
We are.
And we're gonna get it right. We're gonna continue to push out quality content, and we just hope that you guys are along for the ride with us to see our growth. And just enjoy the ride overall. So what?
Because we are definitely trying.
Yeah, we are, and as we say, we definitely hope more things come from this. But if not, this is also a learning experience that we can take with us, and we can say, hey, well, I learned X, Y, and Z, and we can possibly use these tools other places. So it's never a lose-lose situation. It's more so
Learning.
we are going to win.
And we are going to learn.
We are going to win, but we're also going lessons learned. But overall, what is your rating for the Liberty?
Wow. So originally I had this and I gave it a 3. I think I'm gonna give it a 4. This was great. I love this thing. Michelle,
I'm gonna give it a 4 too. I thought this was a clean, like very
it's a clean white.
sophisticated, like it's a good wine.
That's what it's
That's Jubilee.
No, it's this one.
That one.
It's this
What's
one.
What's the back say? What's in it?
Oh,
Not a whole lot.
Oh, it's a blend. Okay.
Now, what I will say,
It's a semi-sweet white blend.
I was nervous upon pouring this because it was the only bottle on the table that was close to being full. And that's never a good sign.
It's never a good time.
Never a good
I'm
sign.
glad I'm not the only one that thought
But in tasting it, I will give it a 3.5 because it definitely wasn't bland. You got the aromas of everything in there. It was subtle. It wasn't overwhelming. I can see myself sipping this once or twice a week. It's still not an everyday wine for me because me as a wine, whiskey. But moving on.
Just because it starts with a W.
Moving on. However you want to pronounce it, wine, whiskey, same thing. Same thing.
The whiskey.
Same thing.
Whiskey.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just want to say that the reason that most of it was left is because I actually like this and it was mine from
So
the
you made
horticulture.
sure.
So I was
You
like,
made
if
sure.
I touch
Okay.
this again,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
gonna be gone.
make
It's not gonna
it.
make it. So I'm.
I didn't know if you pulled the Michelle on him.
Oh, made him get
You
another
can't
bottle.
have another glass.
No.
Oh,
This was
no.
mine.
We
from
need
the
to have
horticulture.
this. So I wasn't sure.
No. I
No.
didn't touch it again because after our episode, I was like, I think this was the highest rated for me. So this was initially, I think, a 3.5, and I was like, I'm not gonna touch it. Let me just go to the back of the refrigerator. That's why it was the most. Or you wouldn't be tasting nothing. You see?
I understand. Decent.
No, I definitely give it a 3.5. I enjoyed it. It was good. It went down well. I emptied my glass, so I don't know about everybody else's. Everybody looks empty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
This is a good one. This is a good
we
one.
are empty.
I will get it again. So, Romano, we'll probably be back to get quite a few of your wines.
I'm going for the slushy.
I'm here
my
for
God,
the slushy.
The slushy was awesome.
Yo,
If
They
y'all
let
have
you,
the
they
peach
let you
Bellini.
leave the place with alcoholic slushies. Awesome.
the peach.
I probably shouldn't have put that out
Bellini.
there, but it was good.
It
I
was-
It's a
wasn't-
Bellini.
I wasn't privileged to that. I was on kid duty for everyone.
for everyone.
every-
So,
for
so
every-
he's
for
so
everybody
he's
that
due
did.
Oh,
he's
for
due two
everybody that did.
slushies. Romano,
He
he's
ain't go
due
with us.
2 slushies. One because he missed the first one, and one to go because I'm going back to get my second one.
We'll be there
Yeah.
over the
Yeah.
So
summer.
Romano,
Yeah.
a little something to wine about. We'll be there to see you again.
And that's a brandy wine.
It's in Brady Wine,
Brady
Maryland.
Wine,
Maryland.
So to that point, so we are now at our top 3 of our Romano. We did go to the Romano Vineyard and Winery again. If you haven't seen the vlog, please check it out. It was great. We had a great time. Ty, Michelle, and myself, and the boyfriend cameraman. Thank you so much because he took a lot of that footage. The husband was on kid duty, as we've said repeatedly in this podcast. We got kids.
We got kids.
We got kids. We got responsibilities.
So what
Respect.
Tommy say
Respect.
off of Red, I can't do this now. I got responsibilities.
I got responsibilities.
I have responsibilities.
So we did that. So the top three, y'all highly rated. This was really good. So coming in third place was the Jubilee. And I'm gonna let them find it. Right.
Okay.
There we go. In second place, we had the Smitten.
That's there.
Okay. And in first place, we had Liberty.
Liberty.
Liberty
Liberty.
Hey man, y'all got a free. Y'all had free points, so don't yeah.
So as y'all know, as we said at the beginning, this is the last episode of year one, guys. We are about to start year two. We are so thankful. These were our first guys on Wine with the Guys because we do keep it in La Familia. We keep it in the family. We bring them in.
We like Fast and Furious up in here.
We are the family.
What?
Fast and Furious.
Well, hey, look, I started out as the boo friend.
The boo friend.
I became the cameraman, and I
now
elevated
he's
to
the boyfriend.
the boyfriend.
Look,
So I'm
it's
looking
elevation.
forward to what this podcast elevates.
He's looking for self-elevation.
Unfortunately, I don't have that.
Even the husband.
I'm still that other nigga.
Hey man, sometimes
Yeah.
consistency
She
is
has
good.
she has the podcast and then me.
Oh my God.
So you know
He is
I guess so.
that work-life balance. We trying to get it where it's here.
Hey, look, I'm
'Cause
working
right now
to his status.
it's here.
Come back.
And I'm
So
not-
is that
look,
your
'cause I'm
goal
looking-
for the podcast?
My goal for the podcast is the
Is
husband
to be the
and
husband.
the husband part deux. You know
Part
what
deux,
I mean?
part
Like,
deux, part deux.
Part
something to
deux.
whine about from
Right.
a man's perspective.
From a man's perspective.
Oh,
There you go.
boom.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
The
So
men
men
wine
wine
too.
Coming
too.
soon,
Men
by
wine
Coming soon.
too. Men
Coming
wine
soon.
too.
Men wine
Men wine too. Coming
Yeah,
to
I
y'all.
don't like that. That sounds sensitive.
Right, I'm about to say, we don't whine.
We're not going.
We don't whine.
Men drink.
We're
The drink.
not going.
They just drink.
Oh.
Men drink too.
We
Men
don't
be
whine.
drinking.
So,
They drink wine.
so in celebration of the end of our first year, and as y'all know, if you've been listening, we are kicking off Chardonnay May. We brought thank you, sir. We brought a champagne Chardonnay that I didn't even know existed, but we here now.
Me neither.
So we are all going to toast, and we hope that you toast with us. If you have sparkling in your refrigerator, go
Zoom
get
it in. Zoom it out.
Go get it now, please. Go get your sparkling, your Moscato if it's bubbly,
Rosé.
whatever your celebratory
What
drink
is
is.
Cuvée.
Cuvée.
Hey.
Almost. Look, I'm learning.
And celebrate,
Hey,
and
make some good
celebrate with
Moscato.
us as I get these people to pronounce these words correctly.
I'm learning. I was close.
She
So-
been doing this. We just here. Period.
Okay. So while they open that,
Well, hold on. Before we do that part, I want to announce also for the people who have celebrated a year with us. We are very thankful to all of our listeners. Can you open it? And
No,
pour it?
I thought-
No. So we are very thankful to all of our listeners.
Scrub the ground.
We are very thankful to all of the people who have listened and wine with us. And so I just want to give a shout out to our top 5 countries who have wine with us. Okay.
Live bubbling.
First and foremost, of course, the U.S., the home country, the homeland. Thank y'all. Austria comes in second. Y'all have wine with us.
Austria.
Canada.
Good day,
is-
mate.
Canada is third.
That's all I know.
Ireland is fourth. And
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give y'all a huge shout because my name is Irish. Siobhan is Irish. And so thank y'all. Turkey is fifth. And Turkey is our 5th country. Y'all have been our top 5 wine countries wining with us. I'm going to give a special asterisk shout out to Romania because even though y'all didn't make that list, we've been in y'all top 200 podcasts for like 6 months.
Yes.
So y'all are an honorable mention. The hometown, the states who have been rocking hard with us. Our top 5 are Texas at the top, followed by California.
Oh wow.
Florida, thank you, in third. Fourth goes to Michigan. I've been there once. Y'all are also, y'all are to my heart because y'all are also up in that tundra. I'm from upstate New York. I know that tundra. I know that lake effect snow. I see you. It was rough winter.
You
wasn't it?
I see.
And our fifth place, of course, is Maryland because that's where we are.
That's who we are.
So that is a thank you to.
It's funny the top 5 recruiting states.
So that's the top
God bless
5 to our countries and our cities. And before we go, thank you to you, all of our listeners. But we also want to thank
Le Boyfriend and the husband for
Le Boyfriend,
all of their
cameraman,
support,
Le
for
Boyfriend.
being the cameraman, the
silent partners,
the loud partners,
The
the
investors.
investors, the sporadic I need you guest, the last minute step ins. Oh, we don't need you no more. Step out.
Y'all have caught me on a 12 or 15-hour shift. I'm telling you.
I quit. I'm coming.
Listen, when you get here, I need you to set this up. I need you to get here.
The
I
DJ.
have no idea that it's one of them. I gotta move clients.
Yes.
I can't make it tonight.
The DJ, the lights person,
Our
the
producers.
Y'all only see what's on the
Producers,
camera.
yeah.
You don't see what's back there.
Our behind
That's
the
us.
scenes.
our behind the
That's
scenes,
us.
our stress relievers, our
Shoulders
our
to
shoulders
cry
to
on.
cry on.
Our true whiners. We whine for y'all.
Oh.
Hey, truth be told, we're a pain in the ass too.
Yes,
Y'all are.
They are.
I know I am. I don't know about you.
No.
but I know I am.
No. Everybody know who. If you know him,
an
you
asshole.
know. Okay. So we truly
thank y'all and
are
appreciate y'all.
thankful, and we appreciate everything that you guys have done for us and for this podcast. So we have a small little
We
token.
have a little token,
Just
y'all.
a little
Little
token.
token.
It's not a big.
Can that be on camera?
Yes, it can be on camera.
I said
That's
the kind of
cute.
token
Did
I
you
was
see
thinking
my
about.
concern?
Hey, look,
Did
the
you
No.
token I was thinking about. I don't know.
We
if
can't
that-
do that on
that-
camera.
It can't. Not on this camera.
Oh,
Anyway.
look, we got.
So that's for you all.
We got a
And
whole fancy bag.
to my
Fancy
sister
bag.
who has been on this journey with me for this year, I want to give you this.
Ah, she got me.
Oh,
Oh,
the introduction.
I feel so bad I didn't get her anything, guys.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing this for
You
that.
got-
I did that because my sister has been here for me and has truly. Don't cry, because I'm going to cry.
I'm about to fill my glass.
Look.
Do you
She
see?
got a Malvasia di Casorsa.
I got that
Okay.
for my sister because I truly appreciate just everything that one she has taught me, that she has bared with me through, and just everything that that comes about with it. So I love you, Susie.
It's always a great day when you get something else to drink your whiskey out.
And also before we go, I want to shout all our guests out from year one. So we got the husband and the boyfriend on the couch with us. Mr. Trey Proper, thank you. Miss Monet, thank you, Sissy.
What up, Trey?
Miss Sean Tricia, Miss Sean, thank you. Aaron, thank you. Arian, Cody, A-Mims, whatever you want to go by. My best friend, thank you. Cortland, thank you. And
Yes.
thank you for our logo.
our
coming
new logo, Cortland.
coming soon, our new logo. My brother, Shatan, Mr. Clark, thank you so much. Patrick and Rob Wilson, thank you both, brother and sister. Mr. Cecil Brooks, thank you for being on.
Yep.
Mr. Scott Bello,
Yes.
CEO of Fit Church, thank you. And our sisters, of course, last but not least, Miss Eureka, as I call her,
Hi, Urka.
and
Erica.
Isha,
You know she gonna get us. My name
What
is
up, sis?
Erica. It's not Urka.
and Miss Isha.
Yes,
as our
it's Isha, sissy.
So thank you to all of our guests, to all of our listeners, to all of our fellow winers.
Yes, it has been a great year of learning, of wonderful experiences, and we are truly looking forward to year 2.
Yes.
We're
Gonna raise
that.
We're gonna raise our glasses,
and
with
we're
us
going to
and
say
Salud.
cheers to that.
Be sure that you join us each and every Wednesday for another episode of A Little Something to Wine About with your hosts, Ty-A Michelle
And Siobhan Camille.
Yes, we thank you for joining us for this wonderful celebration of year number 1 with plenty more to look forward to year number 2. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to comment below. Put your flag out there. Let us know what you're repping. Let us know what you're repping in the comments. We love you all. We thank you all. And as always,
There's nothing wrong with a little wine.
toodles. Bye.
Thank you for whining with us on this episode of A Little Something to Wine About. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to join us live the last Saturday of every month on YouTube or Instagram. And we'll see you next Wednesday for more fun, more laughs, and of course, more wine.